Today, Democrats dismiss any concerns about the security of electronic voting machines as baseless conspiracy theories. But before the 2020 election, they were ringing the alarm bells that the Russians or other hackers were going to steal the election by switching votes for President Trump. In fact, 2 years ago, the New York Times produced this mini documentary showing that a computer science and engineering professor at the University of Michigan was able to hack popular voting machines still in use, and then when used in a mock student election, he fixed the results. When the students voted which school they liked better, theirs or their rival Ohio State, they were surprised at the results.
All right, here are the results from the electronic voting machines. Ohio State wins 131 to 108.
There's a good reason we computer scientists are paranoid. It's a golden age for hackers.
Here's the professor previously testifying in front of Congress.
Our highly computerized election infrastructure is vulnerable to sabotage and even to cyber attacks that could change votes. This is the same electronic voting machine used in Georgia and parts of Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, and even in swing states like Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania.
Whoa, wait a minute, Professor. CNN says that's a conspiracy theory, and they're the most trusted name in news. In their article fact-checking the allegations that the Dominion voting machines have ties to George Soros and the Clinton Foundation, at the very beginning they say that none of this is true, but then down at the bottom of the article they do admit that the Clinton Foundation was responsible for getting the Dominion voting machines used in various countries, and that the chairman of the board of Smartmatic's parent company is also on the board of a foundation ran by George Soros. Just last year, HBO's John Oliver said it was completely insane that we're still using electronic voting machines.
Which makes it, frankly, completely insane that New Jersey not only still uses them, but plans to keep using them for the 2020 election. And it's not just New Jersey. 16 million Americans spread out across all these states are set to be voting on machines that pretty much everyone agrees are deeply, deeply flawed. And if they malfunction, there could be no way of knowing. Which is absolutely terrifying. Because what we have to do here is obvious. It's so obvious, in fact, even this guy understands it.
One of the things we're learning is it's always good. It's old-fashioned, but it's always good to have a paper backup system of voting. It's called paper, not highly complex computers, paper. And a lot of states are doing that.
Yeah. He's right. That's it. He's just all the way completely right.
Of course he's right, John, but now you, being a cog in the liberal media industrial complex, is now mocking those concerns. After President Trump was victorious in 2016, Chunk Yogurt over at the Young Turks demanded that the electronic voting machines be forensically analyzed by independent experts to see whether or not they were hacked. But today, with many Republicans wanting those same verifications, Chunk is ranting and raving about how President Trump is trying to steal the election from old Joe. After the 2004 election, so many people were concerned that the electronic voting machines, particularly in Ohio, handed the election to George W. Bush, that even The Simpsons did a segment about it when the next election came around.
Ooh, one of those electronic voting dealies.
One vote for McCain. Thank you.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Come on, it's time for a change.
3 votes for McCain.
This machine is rigged! This doesn't happen in America! Maybe Ohio, but not in America! Ah!
Yes, in America, and until just about 3 weeks ago, Democrats used to care.
A Bic pen. It is a round stick, medium.
That's all University of Michigan graduate student Matt Bernhard needs to break into this voting machine.
There we go.
These machines are in use in 20 states. Behind the door is the prize, the memory card where votes are stored.
If you were so inclined, you could come into the voter booth to vote, pop out the memory card, put your own in, install some malware.
Not only that, but we were able to develop a voting machine virus that would silently spread from machine to machine, going from a single point of infection to compromise an entire county, maybe even an entire state.
Or a handful of swing states. Monday night, research psychologist Dr. Robert Epstein was on Tucker Carlson, where he revealed how Google helped get out the vote for Democrats this year.
We found a period of days when the vote reminder on Google's homepage was being sent only to liberals. Not one of our conservative field agents received a vote reminder during those days. The good news is, on that fourth day that we were monitoring, we went public with some of our findings, and Google backed off. They literally shut off that manipulation that night, and so for 4 days before the election, they were showing vote reminders to everyone, finally.
Oh, so Google was reminding Democrats, not Republicans, to be sure to get out and vote. Just like how Facebook helped get out the vote in the 2010 midterms by putting notifications on millions of users' pages as part of a secret experiment. They estimate they were able to get several 100,000 people to get out and vote who wouldn't have voted otherwise. But I don't think there are too many members of Congress who really understand how social media works, so soon we're gonna have to change tactics and start flooding their offices with phone calls to educate them.
What is the point of all this?
Well, the point of this, of course, is to get to fair and accurate results because the election was stolen and President Trump won by a landslide. And how you're mischaracterizing this, I think that your viewers need to understand the truth of this. So let's not forget that President Bush actually lost at every single lower court stage before ultimately Bush v. Gore got to the Supreme Court. The Constitution and the law was applied fairly and accurately. And we have President George W. Bush, not then as the media, your network included, was calling President-elect Al Gore.
Where is the evidence? Right here, Sean. 234 pages of sworn affidavits. These are real people, real allegations, signed with notaries who are alleging the following, among other contentions. They are alleging, this is one county, Wayne County, Michigan. They are saying that there was a batch of ballots where 60% had the same signature. They are saying that 35 ballots had no voter record, but they were counted anyway. That 50 ballots were run multiple times through a tabulation machine. That one woman said her son was deceased, but nevertheless somehow voted.
The facts are coming out, ladies and gentlemen. The facts are coming out.
Whatever happens over the next few weeks and years, MAGA hats are not going away. Neither is Donald Trump, even if he gets banned from Twitter. We now have Parler. Worst case scenario, he'll probably just buy Newsmax, rename it Trump News, and continue to drive the Democrats nuts 24/7. And if you want to drive the Democrats and your family nuts, I would recommend wearing my Trump Claus sweatshirt to Christmas dinner this year. It's available at